Hey planner friends, thanks so much for stopping by my channel. My name is Ryan and this is A Man with the Plans, and we are in my 2018-2019 Erin Condren colorful hourly here, and we're going through my notes pages. Some of these you'll have seen separate videos for, the recipe tracker in particular. I'll have that linked in the card if you're curious. But I love the fact that this part of your planner is the one that's kind of an open book, and it really lets you try or do just about anything you'd like on your own. And that really piqued my interest, so I figured I would share this video and see if anyone else had suggestions or what they do with their notes pages, because I'm always learning from you subscribers. You have such great insights and suggestions. I really appreciate them constantly. So I figured, let's get this ball rolling. So actually I cheated a little. And this front, we're not really in the notes pages yet. This is the end of June, but I figured an extra set of line pages never hurt anyone. And the thing that I put in here first, other than this awesome washi I got from Target quite a while ago, it's Scotch brand. I put my goals in here. I went back to thinking about sort of why I have a planner in the first place, and it really is to enjoy myself, be creative, all those things, but it's also to organize my life in a way that I can achieve some goals. And Erin Condren talks about it all the time with, you know, turning dreams into plans and those types of things. So for me, writing down what I want to achieve over the 2018-19 little year with this is, I think, really helpful for me. I really enjoy this. You'll notice here that they're broken down into 4 sort of categories. One is professional, and obviously I'd love to get a promotion or a raise. I'd love to get a certificate from the University of Minnesota, maybe get my PMP, and then also for my side hustle, I'd like to judge 20 meets in the season. For financial, I have a couple of goals here. I want to get rid of that small student loan. For those of you that want to see my latest budget, I'll have that linked in the card as well. I want to make a big dent in my car loan for next year, right? I'm just raring along, getting those things done. And then the last one is I want a sinking fund for most of my for my larger expenses. This is the first year that I've really worked on sinking funds, so I'm glad this is one that I want to stick to and really see how great I can maintain this and be consistent, because it is so handy having that money left over. Moving down to personal, these goals are attain the ideal weight. I didn't put a number in there. I think that's something that you have to figure out on your own. I want to find a workout routine that I love, because I have not yet, and it's been tough working out. I want to eat healthy. I put 80-20 in there. I am starting a new diet, so that'll help that. Meditate daily. I use an app called Insight Timer, actually, for that. It's really helpful. And then the last one is just do my affirmations and gratitude. We'll get there in a second. And then the last one, these are not, I wouldn't say they're goals, but they're really more sort of values, right? So be the best friend I can be. That's not something I can measure. There's not like a best friend I can be scale. But it's something that's important to me, and so I wrote it down. And same thing with the last 2. I want to reach out to family and long-distance friends. I live a fair bit away from the nearest relative. I think 300 and 400 miles is how nearby the next closest relative is, so it's a distance. I don't see them often, but in today's day and age, FaceTime, Snapchat, Facebook, all those things, I should be able to connect with them more often and stay in touch. So that's my goal. And then the last one is to be kind to all. There's enough going on in this world that's upsetting, or stressful. That's putting upsetting and stressful together, obsessful. But you get what I mean. Being kind to everybody isn't really a difficult thing, but it's something that I like to look to. So moving on, we're not going to spend a lot of time on this page. I will leave a link in the card to this video. But the recipe tracker, anytime I try something new or I see something online that I want to try, I throw it in the meal name section and the date that I try it. Obviously there's some things here that I'd like to look into later on. Oh, I did just make this, so we can fill that in because it's relatively easy. I made this last week, and for prep, it was a 3. It wasn't very hard. The taste was a 4, and we had leftovers forever. I just finished them, so that was overall a good recipe, and that's exactly sort of how we do this, and that's the intent. So hopefully I'll have this whole thing filled in. If you have any recipe suggestions, you let me know. Let's move along, shall we? Okay, sorry about the pencil, but these are my affirmations. I practice what's called the Miracle Morning, and it's It's inspired by a book by Hal Elrod. I will leave that down below as well. And these actually are his affirmations themselves that I just copied into this book. And essentially what I do is once a day, I read these over, maybe twice, and I like having them in here because as soon as I'm done with the Miracle Morning, I go ahead and get right into my weekly planner to see what's going on for that day and where I need to be and what's going to happen. So having it all in one stop shop is great. So obviously there's 4 categories here: self-confidence, health and wellness, financial success, and relationships. And you can kind of tell they map back to my goals, which I thought was pretty neat after I was all said and done. It took a while to write all this out, but it's nice to know that my handwriting still stands up because I haven't written this much in quite a while. But anyway, I love that it's sitting in here. I think it's super helpful. Okay, so the next thing is, this is just for YouTube. It's a subscriber count. Every time we hit a milestone, I color it in. It's just fun for me to keep track of. It'll be nice to see the progress I'll have made in 1 year since I started in June. I'll be able to sort of track just about the July all the way for a full year of my YouTube existence through this planner. I think that'll be fun to have that crossed off, so just a good thing to keep track of. I will say though, for next year, I've seen a lot of other YouTubers that have a separate planner for YouTube and their business, quote unquote, and I think I'm gonna go that route just to keep everything there. Like the expenses for mailing things and those types of things all belong someplace else together. So stay tuned for that. If you want to see a walkthrough of that, if I get it, let me know and I can certainly show you some of the ways that I'm setting it up. The next thing I have is my financial goals for my snowball update. You can tell I was playing with some lettering. I'm getting there. I'm a little rusty, but it's fun. And for me, every time we get a certain payment amount, I like to go ahead and just color it in. My goal would be for these two things, this to be completely paid off by the end of this planner term, and then this have a big chunk taken care of before the year is out. That's my hope, and I'm confident we can get there, so it'll be fun for me to go ahead and just scribble in there as we go. I think that's an awesome thing to just keep track of, and you know, sometimes when you have a huge debt, like this is like $28,000. If you want to see my budget video, I'll link it up. But you know, that you don't feel like you're making progress, but for some reason, being able to color in that extra box, it's so small, but it is so rewarding. So this is one of the ways that it keeps me motivated to keep moving forward. And on to the last page that I have here. This is just books to read, and it's a pretty simple list. I found this list online, and I continue to add to it as I go. And essentially, it's just a list of books that I'd like to read in this next year, with a sticker from Erin Condren that I wrote on it that says, "Reading unlocks a world of opportunity." Something simple. I could have made this fancier, like a table with the dot grid, but I didn't really feel like it. These stickers are from Planning Made Easy. I'll link her shop down below as well. They're the school book stickers. I just think for me this is nice to be able to track and highlight all the books that I've read, because you know, it's amazing how much reading you can do if you do 15 pages a night or something like that. You can read a ton of books in a year that way. So I'm hoping to get through this list and maybe a few extra too. If there are any personal development books that you really like, I'd love to hear about that as well. But that's really it for my notes section. I have a question for all of you viewers. Since you subscribers are brilliant and come up with such cool creative things for your planner, I want to know what this last page should be. Go ahead and leave me a comment down in the box below just on what you use your notes pages for, or a suggestion for what I should use for mine. I'd love to try something new and different out, and it can be anything. You let me know. Because this is, like I said earlier, this is my favorite part of the planner, is that it's so wide open. It's just a sheet of dots and some woven wonder, right? And so, you know, so many options. So please go ahead and leave a comment down below. And again, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. If you haven't yet already, go ahead and click that subscribe button. I make new videos every Monday and every Thursday. And as always, planner friends, have a great rest of your week. Bye.